Okay, this could work. 1995 Jaguar XJR, but with one of these. So it's not an auto, it's a manual. It's not a perfect car, but I'm going to give you a little run around on it so you get a rough idea of what they like to drive. A bit like the equivalent of a sporting GT tractor, really. But we shall see what you think. They take a bit of getting used to, basically, because this is a fairly industrial gearbox. But once you get used to how fast you can change it, which isn't very, and the fact that the position is not quite where you want to be, it's all right. But you know, it's not a Ferrari, but it's still loads of fun. This one's just had a complete set of clutch hydraulics fitted to it, which it needed, and it is a firm clutch, there's no two ways about it. It is hard to use, but the trick is not to depress it too far, but just to find and get used to the point where you can change gear and not have too much travel in the foot. But it runs quite well, you know. Little problems with the ECU being an auto and not a manual, so it fuels the car differently in neutral positions. Because with a auto box, the ECU is trying to keep the revs up in between gear shifts. But with a manual, you want it to be able to drop when you take, you know, when you're in neutral and you take your foot off the throttle, no matter whether you're doing 7 miles an hour or 70. This has got a bit of an annoying habit of sometimes holding its revs high, but not too annoying. But as you can see, it's a fairly regular little drive. Ooh. Defrost this time for some reason. Oh, I'll switch that off. Did I touch that? Oh, I must have done, I guess. I'll switch it off. Oh look, there's a sign that says 30 miles an hour, slow down. Fuck that. So really this is just about whether or not you can live with a manual as opposed to the auto. And as I've got one of each, I've had a lot of these, I've had a lot of XJRs. This is my 1, 2, 3, 4, it's my 4th one. Obviously they've all been auto, and this one is manual. And this one's also, it's got the uprated lower crankshaft pulley for the blower, so the blower does whoosh around a little bit quicker. It's got the Andy bracket on the ignition, which is an improvement on things. But like I said, you kind of get used to something here. It's unfortunate that we're not about to enter any places where we can actually drive fast. There's courtesy of the Essex Police and the 0127, there are averaging speed cameras here, so I'm about to enter a maximum 50 mile an hour zone. Yeah. And a traffic speed camera, alright, we're just passing by, which is a 40 mile an hour zone. Irritating fuckers. So here we are in a... We'll just take it through some gears so we can get a little bit of idea of what it can do. Second gear. We'll just hold back there because we don't want to have the averaging speed cameras catch us. But it does have a lovely whine, this one. I mean, it's a beautiful sound, this supercharged mags. We're doing like 50 in third here. And I do like using the gears when driving. I mean, you know, the gears are quite long on this, as I said, it's fairly industrial. But it's, you know, just to hold it 2,500 RPM, just under 50 mile an hour. We're not even on boost yet. I don't think you can see the boost gauge. No, the boost gauge is just over here. This one's fitted with a boost gauge. So we're in third, and you know, it's nice to have the go. We're still passing another one of these averaging speed cameras. But it does, it's nice. So it's much more interesting to drive the manual than it is the auto, which is not to say they perform any differently, because in terms of, you know, having a gearbox like this and smooth changing of an auto gearbox, then I don't know, is this any quicker? But you know, you can hold the gears, it does what it does. But it's, yeah, it's different. It's different. This car itself did not come out the factory with 5-speed gearbox. This was conversion done by the previous owner, but it was conversion done using entirely, you know, Jaguar parts. So it's got proper pedal box, it's got proper gearbox. This particular model has got a limited slip differential. It's got traction control, which, you know, you can switch on or off, and I believe it does work. And if you give this thing a handful, it will lay down some 11s, proper ones. So both wheels spin on this. It's just a very nice car. I'm just about to go and see a friend of mine who's working on my other XJR, which just had a complete new rear axle put in it. Well, used one. I don't think he's finished it yet, but it's at least it's good to find somebody who will work on these cars and not try and rip you off. It's a pleasure to drive this car when it's on form. Take a left down here. It's a bit of a rough old track this, so there you're about to see the XJR's off-road capabilities. Well, hardly. Well, somebody's coming up the driveway with a black Range Rover. But it's quite comfortable. Lovely clutch. I mean, the clutch is smooth, it bites fine, but it is a bit heavy. Jaguar is that it really can take a pretty rough road with some level of smoothness. Probably a few purists out there would be saying, I wouldn't drive my car down that shit. But, you know. It would be so easy to light up the mud by just stabbing the throttle on this thing now, but it doesn't prove anything to the muddy road. All I'm going to do is have to clean the shit off. There we go, I have arrived, so this just about comes to the end of this video. See ya.